Alrighty, hello, it is what it is, family. This is your host, Jared Smith, back at it again with another episode. I'm beyond excited because this is actually my first time recording on a Friday night. I could be out turning up right now. It's like, no, who am I kidding? I'm recovering right now, but I'm very, very excited to be spending my Friday night interviewing my guy I'm about to introduce you all to. It's about to be a great, dope, deep, fun conversation. But before we get into that, as you already know, I'm gonna annoy you with this shameless plug. If you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram at the underscore IIWII underscore podcast. And also feel free to follow me on YouTube. That's Jared Smith, Jared with two R's. Please don't forget the extra R. It's JARRED Smith. That way you can stay up to date with all content relating to the podcast, also the real estate tips of the week that I'll be dropping, as well as the other forms of content that I plan on dropping into the near future. So, enough about me. Enough about me. Enough about me. Enough about me. It's time to do my favorite thing, as I do with every show, which is introduce the guests. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the connection I made with this brother here, I'm very excited about to share with you all. This is actually one of the perks of having a social media and letting people know what it is that you're doing, because you'd be surprised how many like-minded people are out there that want to connect, that want to collab, that actually want to create with you. So my theme of the day before we get into this conversation is please let people know what it is that you're doing, because no one can support and no one can help if they don't know what the heck it is you got going on. So, my man. So I have my man's here. I'm gonna have him introduce himself, but I just want to let you guys know that this is a conversation that you do not want to miss. And honestly, I just can't wait for us to jump into this. So, my man, let the people know who it is that you are and what it is that you're about. That guys, let's be real nice to him. He stated earlier that he is a little nervous, so I'm
I'm
gonna
not.
give him the floor.
All that.
I'm gonna give him the floor to introduce everything about himself. So the floor is yours.
All right, man. My name is Mayo. I'm actually honored to be on this show, and it's a great blessing. First of all, this is gonna help me with my poetry slam. First of all, and
Oh shucks.
help me with a lot of things. You feel me? But yeah. First of all, my name is Mayo. I'm from Nigeria. I moved there around like when I was like 12, basically. So ever since then, I've just been in school. Went to Temple University, studied pre.
Oh shucks.
I studied pre med. I was gonna be a doctor. I wanted to go into medicine, but life took its own
Mm,
route, and that's what we're here to talk about today.
mm,
And to all my pre med student out there, Black pre med student, continue going, continue striving, just keep doing your thing. And I'm in support to see more Black doctors, Black lawyers, Black engineers. So if I can, I know I could do it, but just life took its course, so that's it. But now I just do photography basically, and I have a cleaning business, and we're here to talk
Oh,
about
sorry. We definitely gotta talk, bro. We definitely gotta talk, dog. We definitely gotta talk. But my fault. I didn't mean to interrupt. But keep going. Keep going.
but yeah, and my man's here, he's doing good for himself, and we're just here to just like share thoughts and experience, and of course, there's like we are ongoing experience, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And there's more to learn. I'm gonna learn from him. He's gonna learn from me. I'm trying to learn from other people, and I just think this conversation, this talk, is just it's meant to happen because, like, and I feel like God put this together. So I'm just ready to just share my opinion, share my thought, and just try my best to have a good conversation. So but right now, I do photography heavy. My plan is to be a published photographer, which is in fashion and beauty.
mm.
Everybody want to go into wedding, but of course, if the wedding comes to me, of course I'll take it. But the key is to become a fashion published photographer, and it's gonna take time. But I trust in the Lord. So I'm just taking it slowly.
Oh man, take us to
That's about
church, man. Take us to church, dog. Take us. So that's how you, man. That was dope, bro. That was definitely dope, bro. Shout out
yeah.
to the temple, to you, Temple Owls,
Oh,
man.
you a Temple student too?
Yeah,
Oh,
econ.
okay.
So my joke is I quasi graduated. They want me to pay like 10 grand to take a
Oh,
Spanish class. So I was like, no
okay.
habla español, bro. Like I'm straight. I am straight. But no, that's definitely very very interesting because I honestly you definitely said a lot more than was on the bio that you sent me, which is
Yeah,
absolutely great. So, but before we jump to the conversation,
yeah.
where can people go to follow you and support what it is that you have going on?
Yeah, so my Instagram page for my business is Penny Visuals, like PENNY underscore visuals with the S. So but and I also have a website. Usually my website I can't remember off my head,
Mm-hmm.
but the link is gonna be right down below, or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
so
already know.
Penny underscore visuals. That's the main page. Usually nowadays, people don't even go on a website. Mostly, I have a website that I pay so much for every month, but I don't really go on a website. People just go straight on Instagram. So I always
Yeah.
feel better to show Instagram the website, but it's always good to have a website to
Mm,
keep professional, to be very
mm,
professional. Because sometimes, if you want to deal with you want to deal with like corporate people, they not really going to take you serious if you don't have a website.
mm,
If you have a website that's standing and has everything that looks nice in it, like, you know big people are going to take you serious. But if you just have an Instagram, that's not really a good portfolio. So that's
mm.
another time for anybody out there trying to start a business. Of course, take it slow, but always make sure at the end, try to get a website. Even if it doesn't show for it, just have it. Just pay for it
Mm.
every month and close your eyes and pay for it every month. It works. So.
Wow, you dropped so many gems already. So honestly, as all my guests know, I always have a prompt, man. That was so eloquent and efficient. You actually knocked out half the prompt with what it is that you said.
we have more. We
So
have more to talk about. We have
we
more to
do,
talk.
we do. So okay, so let's just jump into it. So
Okay.
one of the things that on my podcast I always like, it's called "It Is What It Is,"
Yeah.
and we use the concept of self accountability to be the driving force to motivate people to take those chances in life. So, um, tell us about what inspired you to go into photography while you were going to school for pre med. Because I'll say this, um, I know, like there's very diverse countries in Africa. So mainly the friends I have that are both Nigerian,
Mhm.
um, you know, that I know that are Nigerian, even
Yeah.
Liberian and other countries.
Yeah.
It's very like, I hate this. If I'm overstepping, please let me know. But it's either your doctor, you're an engineer. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So with the cultural influences that
Yeah.
that was kind of probably driving you to major what it is you majored in school. What was going on in your life that made you say, "Hey, this is a chance I want to take by going into something that I traditionally wasn't taught to pursue"?
Yeah, yeah, and I thank you for that question because that means you're a good interviewer. First of all, I could tell.
Oh man,
Um,
stop! Thank you, man.
nah, for real, because I like how you start from the top. Which is we're talking about cultural differences, and it's very hard. Um, I would say this to the audience, like one of my biggest like dream is actually to become like a writer and a movie actor.
Mm,
I'm into art. I'm into anything art. I have a lot of painting in my house. I do a lot of painting. But the thing is, like, when you grow up in an African home, as you said, like,
yeah.
you gotta they came from like they came from a different place, where there's not that much opportunity. Whereas like
mm,
the only thing they have over there is to either become an engineer, lawyer, or a doctor. That's the only way you can be
mm,
successful. And when I'm talking about successful, I'm talking about just driving a Toyota Camry successful.
mm,
Just okay for you to be
yeah.
okay, because there's a lot of corruption from where we came from. but like my parent, they believe in that. African parent, they only believe in those three courses. So
Mm-hmm.
like, growing up, I remember I was telling my mom that I wanted to do forensic psychology. They were like, what is that?
Right,
Like,
right, right, right.
money, like, you know what I'm saying? So then I look into physical therapy. I didn't really like it. Then I look into medicine. I took anatomy in one and physiology. I was like, okay, I like this. So I embarked on it and I started doing it. I started studying for the course, and then later on, like, what actually stopped my main focus in medicine was loan situation when I graduated. I was
Mm.
go to medical school and I couldn't get loan for it. I did everything right. I got good grades. Everything was right in life.
Mm.
Just couldn't get a loan for it because at that time my mom was finishing a program and she took loan out for herself. And I've been using my mom for the loan for co-signing for the past 3 years. So basically, it was just like a situation that just happened and kind of made me. I felt like the world stopped because my last year of college, I had seven classes. I
Oh,
did I
oh,
six science
oh.
courses.
Oof.
I went harder than I've ever been in my life. Like I had a 3.5 GPA in that semester. I was happy. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go to medical school. I'm ready to get it, but it just didn't work out. And ever since then, I've been depressed,
Mm.
anxiety, different issues. I started noticing that, I get anxious, like,
Mm.
just all this life things just started happening. And one thing that's hard on we African parents, like they just never they don't really understand what you're really going through because to them they just think like, oh, but with God everything is possible.
Mm.
you know. But at that time, to me, it's like I don't have no money to go to medical school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Plus, I'm out here trying to hustle to pay rent, while still living that college lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, like coming from a different background, cultural background where, all they care about is those three majors, it's very hard to like go into something that I went into if
Mm-hmm.
you're not someone that they can trust that can be on their own, like
Mm.
handle themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I told my parent that I'm just gonna start doing photography, they was just like you're broke, like how, like
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But just like Wizkid, Davido, all these artists, like when they start singing, their parent never supported them,
Mm.
because they don't believe in it. But then when they ended up making it, then their parents started, loving them, which is very sad. But I do understand both sides of the story. I understand where my
Yeah.
parents are coming from. I understand where I'm coming from. Where my parents are coming from is more like they came from the struggle. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So it's very hard for them to understand that to them, I'm lowering myself doing photography,
Mm.
but because they want to be able to tell their friends, oh, my son is a doctor, he went
Right,
to
right,
Yale.
right, right, right.
No, I mean, let's be honest. You would like to say that too, if you, when you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, they making the
Johnson's
big
in
bucks
Yale
out
right
of
now.
here. Yeah.
but
You know,
but yeah, sorry.
no, no, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the cultural difference is it also has to do with like generations, like
Mm.
their generation is very different from our generation. Our generation, we're choosing happiness and peace, their
Yeah.
their generation, they choose money, survival, so
Yeah.
so that's another two different, what I mean? It's just a lot of differences that we have. But if you're a hardworking person, your parent will come to learn that if this is your piece, they're just gonna have to accept it.
Mm.
Trust me, I could be doing something else right now. I'm actually good in IT. I was working for Five Below headquarters at one point. Like, but I chose to do this because I feel like that I kind of my first goal, my not goal, my first passion was medicine, right?
Mm.
I felt like life didn't work out with that. Now I chose another passion, and I feel like I can't quit that again. And not like I quit medicine, but I don't want to choose the easy route, basically. Because I know the easy route, I could get my certification right now in cybersecurity, been making 100K. Even my girl gonna be happy, everybody gonna be happy,
Bro, I'll be happy, man. I'll be happy, man.
Yeah.
The first shareholder and It Is What It Is Enterprises, man. I would be happy. Yeah, I would be happy, man.
But sometimes we choose to do something different that makes us really happy. Like, so just like you, I know you probably have a lot of ideas of what you're trying to do in life, and like not everybody's gonna think your goal is gonna be successful, and not everybody's gonna think that they're gonna be like, yo, he could have just get his master's, make 100K, live life. Why are you stressing himself trying to buy houses that was broken down, trying to do this, trying to do that? Nobody can understand your vision, only you.
Yeah.
So
So let's take a pause. Let's take a pause real quick because I like the direction you're going in.
Yeah.
So I always hate to interrupt. It's just like I just think there's a really good point that you made.
Yeah.
So what? So like you said, because like you said, anybody would have, even me personally, if I was good at IT and I was technologically literate, I would probably be like, all right, I'm gonna put it all to the side and get my IT certifications in cybersecurity and make that 100K and call it a day. You know what I mean? So I think that one of the things, and that's what I told people too, like when I first started the podcast, is I think the scariest thing is just starting. You know what I mean? Like I think the scariest thing is just starting, and I think then eventually you just keep stumbling into what it is that you're supposed to do. So we got the backstory as to why it is you did it. So one of the things I noticed that people fear the most before they start something is the fear of other people's opinions. So I have to say I really, really am appreciative of what the background you're coming from, because I don't think that the pressure that I felt with what it is that I want to do, I think it pales in comparison to what it is that the pressure that you felt. So what was that moment where it just clicked, where you just said, listen, mom, dad, family, friends, like, I hear y'all, but this is what it is that I want to do, and there's nothing you could do to change my mind? What was that moment for you?
Honestly, so I was working at Temple Hospital as a mental health tech last year, and I was taking care of a patient with mental health, and for like the longest, I've been wanting to start a cleaning business, and me and Shauna's been talking about it heavily, just talking about it, but we never made no actions. To be honest, like I would like, not a lot of people would like to say this, but like one of the reasons why I actually ended up going into the business fully, into photography, cleaning fully, is because of Shauna. Like, I can't even lie to you.
Shout outs to Shauna.
Yeah, she like there was a time that she kept pushing me, and because she just knew that I wasn't that happy, but I was also scared of, I've always been a structured person, like go to school, get this degree, work. I've never been someone that wants to like take that risk, So I always have a fear of that, what I mean? So I think like it was after I was praying. I did a fasting and prayer one time. I was praying to God about the business, but I didn't start yet. And at time, I told Temple that I wanted to go per diem, and per diem basically mean like you can choose your own schedule. You don't have to be full time anymore. But at that time, something weird that never happened before happened, which was I fell asleep on my break during the job, and then they suspended me and they fired me. So it kind of made me realize that, sometimes you pray for something, but something else happened. But if you actually think about it deeply, God is really just trying to talk to you about something, like, so with that, I didn't have a job, I didn't have nothing, but I had a lot of money saved. and then that's when I got my
Man,
first camera.
time out, time out. Can you say you had a lot of what saved, bro? You had a lot of
Saved
what?
a lot of money.
Listen, I might need to get some money management skills from you, brother. Cause
That was that time
bro,
though.
listen, brother. Listen. If you lend me, if I save $5, bro, I end up owing somebody 30, man. I might need to take some notes from you, man. I hate to interrupt, but keep going,
Man,
please. Cause you know what's crazy? I'm sorry.
uh,
Nobody talks about the importance of saving money anymore.
nah, it's important, man. I'm trying to tell you, even right now as a photographer, you don't get business consistently.
Mm,
So whenever you get it in that 1 month where like you have like 10 bookings that 1 month, make sure you keep that money. Because
mm,
next month might be one booking, you know,
mm.
like because I've learned that that's what happens. You know what I mean? I'm not I'm not there yet. I'm not in that top, category yet. So I feel like whenever I get that 1 month bookings, like where a lot of people booked, I did events, I made like almost like overall probably I made like almost $5,000. I keep that 5,000, but I would invest like 3,000, but that 2,000 I ain't touching it. That's emergency. That's like if things go left, that's the money I start using slowly. So, but it takes a lot of growth. It takes a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
growth.
yeah.
It's a
I didn't mean
lot
to
of
interrupt you, but when you said you save money, man, I was like, "Whoa, they don't say that no more." That's the new S word. You said I gotta do what? Save. Ew.
it's not easy though. It's not easy.
No, it's
Especially
not. It's
especially living with like a lot of boys, like living with your friends and y'all love going out, turning up, having fun, spending money on sections. It's not easy. It's just something that I don't know what it is, but it's just something that like I just knew that I was gonna get a camera one day, but I also know the importance of saving that all this camera gadgets, they're not easy. They cost a lot. So
yeah,
so going back to the story, I
yeah.
saved
Sorry about that.
and then no, you so I saved and then ever since then, I got the camera and then I started doing all the small jobs with cleaning business. We was getting all this apartment. It was left and right hustle. Like it was sometimes things would be good, sometimes things would be bad. But I thank God for everything though. But
Mm.
then later on, like I got in an accident in I think this year, February. Um, my laptop, my MacBook, my camera, everything in the car got messed up.
Dang.
Everything in the car got messed up. I think that was the biggest challenge of like my life because like ever since then, that's when I really knew like this is the only thing that can make me happy. Because
Mm.
ever since then, I feel like something tested me to go back into that corporate life. And I was close. I wanted to go back, but I was just like, I'm not gonna be happy. So I'm just gonna go in full control. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna just go and just try my best. And ever since then, God has been great, man. I'm gonna tell you,
Mm.
and I cannot tell you that it's been easy. I cannot tell you that.
Mm.
But
Mm.
what I can tell you from your question is like, you said like when did I really know that I should just focus on this and just go straight into it. Ever since the old accident when I lost the camera, you would think a lot of people would quit during
Mm.
during the time when they got in the accident. They lost their camera, they lost their laptop, they lost everything. But I saved. I was also saving again too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
so that also helped. And another thing that helped too was I'm not a true believer in my own craft, and I'm sure you feel like that too. Sometimes you do something, but you feel like you're not that it's not good enough, you
Mm.
know. And then you criticize your own thing, but people look
Yeah.
at it like, "Oh my God, Jerry, what are you talking about? This is great," you know. So what happened was when I had an accident, I didn't have a car for 2 weeks. And then I've always wanted to paint, but I just never had the means to buy all this stuff. And I lived
Yeah.
with a boys, so I didn't have the means. So what I started doing was digital painting and digital
Mm.
abstract.
Could
And
you
then I
explain what that is? I'm so sorry because I never heard of that before.
Yeah, so I basically what I do is like I just do a lot of expressionism art, and first of all, of course, you got to know the app. You have to kind of play around with the application. It's like using Adobe Illustrator. It's very difficult at first, but because I'm good with technology, it gets easier with me, right?
Right.
So I started playing around with a lot of things, and then I created this first image, and I posted it on Instagram during my accident situation, and then it had like 100 likes. Everybody
Mm.
loved it. People commented. People was like, "Wait, is this you? Wait, no, you got to do more of this. Nah, can I buy one?" That's when I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm going back to work because I'm like, I don't know. I just felt like people just love my work with
Mm.
photography and with art, and people don't even know that I do other things too. But I was just like, you know what? If people can like it, I did that when I was at my lowest, you
Mm.
know, and I didn't even know that I could do it. I didn't even know that it could be a thing, but it was something that just gave me a reassurance that, you know what, just keep pushing. It's like I didn't quit. I was just like, you know what, if people can really love it like this, I feel like I gotta just keep going and just keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Ever since then, I've always just, keep going, keep trying. And from my lowest, I was able to make mad money off of just doing
Mm.
work. You know, I feel like I don't want to preach too much, but I feel like
No, you fine,
there's
man. Keep going,
always
man.
there's always a way if
Mm.
you find it. I can't understand people that just sit down and don't and can't make money. I feel like there's
Mm.
always gonna be a way for something. Of course, not scamming or doing drugs, but I'm just saying in terms of whatever craft you have, if you have a craft of arty vibes, do something weird, do something different. Start learning NFT, start learning about different kind of ways to sell your craft.
Mm.
So it's not going to be easy, of course. Trust me, I'm still battling with it, but I just think that it is something that people fear to to show other people their craft. Yes,
Why do
they
you
want
think
to.
that is?
I
Well,
just think
yeah. Why do you
I
think
think
that is?
I think it's because of self-esteem,
Mm.
and also social media.
Mm.
Yeah, social media plays a big role on artists, on people that do real estate, especially real estate. The reason why I said real estate is because there's too many competition.
Yeah.
There's too many people doing it now. Um, Too many people doing it, and sometimes you start looking at the big people and you start criticizing yourself like, ew, look at you, you only sold a house that's 99K. Like, you have a long way to go. You're gonna start saying negativity stuff to
Yeah.
yourself. When I first started photography, I used to just like, I'm not even gonna lie, I used to say so much negativity to myself,
Mm.
and like, it got to the point that sometimes I would have to not go on Instagram just so the
Mm.
negativity don't come to
Wow.
me, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, and it's an ongoing battle, even
Yeah,
till
it
now.
is. It is. It
Even
is.
now, I still sometimes I will go back to some of my work and I'll be like, ew, like, nah, this doesn't look good, you know. But I'm just judging myself every time, and that's not the right way to do it. But I just think social media is really the devil in this age that we're in. Social media definitely plays a big part of that, of the fear.
So I just want to take a pause really quick because I 1 million bajillion percent agree with what you said about social media.
Yeah,
So just a quick personal anecdote.
yeah,
That was actually because I'm not like I actually practice real estate myself,
yeah,
and but honestly, what you said was what was discouraging me because I was like, they're like, man, everybody and their mom doing real estate now. You get what I'm saying? I was
yeah.
like, literally, like everybody and their mom is doing real estate now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, like you said, and even with my podcast, and I'm looking at like, you know, the Joe Rogans and the
Yeah,
Joe Budden podcast and Drink
yeah,
Champs, whatever.
yeah.
And then, but I'm gonna tell you what hurt me the most was this, right? It was actually a personal situation. This actually almost made me want to give up the podcast. Complete transparent moment.
Yeah.
It used to hurt me when the people I supported and the friends that I had would
Mhm.
support everybody else that was doing the same thing that I was doing.
Yeah,
But then when it came time for me,
for you,
it
yeah.
was no love. And then
You're
the thing
not.
that would you know the thing that would kill me was just like, but they podcasting too, like, and
Hmm.
I'm podcasting, like, how come they
Hmm.
get the like and the share and the repost
Yeah,
and I don't get nothing?
yeah.
You
Uh,
know,
It's because it's because you're not as to them. You're not popping yet, and
exactly, and
and it's very sad in the world that we live in. A lot of people worship celebrities, and their friend are trying to do the same thing as that celebrity. They will never give them the time of the day
yeah,
because why? You don't even know if what this guy's talking about, if it's some legit things he's talking about, if it's some fire things that you're supposed to feed your soul with. But because Budden is popping, you rather tune into that because, well, yeah, oh, the camera is nice, this is nice,
yeah.
nice, but everything just has to do with like worshiping,
hmm
later on.
I have the word for it, but because I promised to not curse on the podcast, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say what it is. But you follow though. You follow, man.
trust
You
me.
follow.
Trust me, trust me, trust me. I remember one time I posted something on Instagram and I was like, this, and I mean, it don't really happen to me that often, but it's just because I see it with other people, like starting a clothing line, and you guys will be able to get all this essentials, just writing essential on it for $100. But if your friend just wants you to come to his pop-up shop, just supporting with $10, $20, y'all gonna
Or
be
just
saying,
a repost, or just a
yeah, y'all
repost. You know what I'm saying?
I get it for free. You know what I mean? And it's just so sad in this world that we live in. And I think that's why if you really want to be a businessman, you have to be a very like to be successful. I feel like sometimes you might have to be a little selfish.
Mm,
Let's be honest, because I mean, from the movies I've been watching, I just look at it as like I think you might have to be a little selfish because the thing is, a lot of people are not gonna really support you, starting your
mm,
business, even if it's a free business. As you said, just repost to me. I just needed to repost.
yeah,
I kind of learned when I started photography. I kind of learned that some of my friends aren't like they aren't really like supportive. I used to think we all love each other because we party a lot,
yeah,
fun, we turn up, but not knowing that you don't really. I have to text you if I have to tell you like, hey, bro, please can you help me repost my new picture? That just means like you don't really. Is either you don't really like it or you're just not really that supportive. And I'm the opposite. I see anything good you're doing, I'm reposting.
yo, bro,
Um,
this is listen. I don't care what it is.
yeah,
If I follow, like, my rule is like, if we follow each other,
yeah,
I like, if I'm already seeing what you got going
yeah.
on,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna share it. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It does not matter. You could be
Definitely.
selling women's lingerie. I'm not gonna wear it, but if that's the
Yeah,
business you got going on, the
yeah,
least I could do is share it. And truth be told, um, I'm not gonna lie. So one of the things that made me really enjoy doing the podcast is forging connections like this. It's like
yes,
that's why I tell people like, yo, like if there's something you want to do, like that initial shock of like, dang, like when I posted this, I got like
yeah,
200 likes, and then now when I
mhm,
got my business or my brand or whatever,
yeah,
maybe I get three. But I
yeah,
said the thing is like that, like that's when you have to go beyond your network. Because I'm not gonna lie, the most
yeah,
supportive people I've
yeah,
met, and honestly, a lot of the people like I have friends on the show. Don't get me wrong, I had friends on the show, but those are the ones that were like, "Yo, bro, I really miss what you're doing." But I
yeah.
want to say like 85% of the people that I had on the show, I probably never spoke to in depth until
Yeah,
they were on here. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So you'd
yeah,
be surprised who's out there that, for example, me and you and
yeah,
I, where it was like, yo, bro, I heard you wanted to collab. Let's
yeah.
get it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I just think, like we're saying, for
You
the people
also,
out there,
yeah, sorry. You also be surprised that sometimes even the outside people that support you more than the inside people.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna lie, man. Having a business, I always tell people, you really want to know your true friends, go have a business. Having a business will tell you who. I wish I could curse too.
no,
Having a
you
business,
can curse. I just promised my grandma I wouldn't curse, but you could curse though. You good.
having a business will really tell you, who your friends are. Because, man, sometimes I just sit there and be like, damn, like I thought we cool,
Yeah.
but then I'm always giving people benefit of the doubt. I'd be like, maybe because you don't like being on Instagram that much, you don't repost that much, but deep down, it's just like that's something I would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to every business, every person out there, trying to start a business or have their home business, and I know even down to family, you will feel this. Even families will try to lowball you with certain things. Because they just feel like you're part of their tribe or you're part of their lineage or they know you. You know what I mean? Like I remember one of my earlier gig, one of my family wanted to do like an event shoot, and it was something I was supposed to make 3,000 off of, but she tried to just make me do it for only 1,000. And because I was hungry at that time, I was hungry, so I was like, you know what, like I'll do it, you know. But then one thing that I learned is after you do something like that, they will kind of know you as that, oh, that photographer they can beg to to to,
Mm.
to lower prices. Sometimes it's good to just have integrity and just don't stick with being broke. But they will understand that if they're gonna have to get this photographer, they have to pay good money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So ever since
Mm-hmm.
then, I kind of just stopped that, family, that's my aunt type thing. Don't get me wrong, I still do little favors, but I don't let that get into my money anymore. And that goes for people with clothing line. They always have friends that would be like, let me just get it for two for 15, something that you're not profiting from, you
Mm.
know, and you still got to send money to China to reproduce and do a lot of stuff. Like, if you're not profiting, I just think that if it's friends, family, just don't do it, because
Mm.
at the end of the day, these people will go on about their life, and you will be the one hurting.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
let's take a pause real quick because I like what you said there. So, did you standing by your price and like standing on the integrity of your business, did that alter any of the relationships between your friends and family? Like, for example, if they were like,
No,
"Hey, I want to do this for 1,500," and you're like,
yeah,
"Nah, 3,000, take it or leave it," and
yeah,
they say, "All right, I'm gonna leave it." Did that alter? Because I think personally, I think that's what kind of because we always hear stories about.
yeah,
At least me personally, I can speak for myself. It's like where people like stood on their prices, and then
yeah,
people are like, "But I thought we were cool." But
yeah,
then
yeah,
they're on the opposite, and it's like, "Yeah, if we cool, you would pay me what I say I'm worth."
yeah.
So I know some people that lost out on friends or altered
Mhm.
friendships. Did you experience any of that?
Um, I did, but not that way. Of course, like so everything is about knowledge. Everything is about knowing how to talk.
I'm sorry. Pause. I'm sorry. Is my mic making any weird noises?
No,
Okay, sorry, Gal.
yeah,
Continue. Sorry.
yeah. Everything is about knowledge, and everything is about knowing how to talk.
Mm.
They do feel some type of way most of the time, you know. But don't get me wrong, I still always try to work with my clients, because at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, you want to keep your client happy.
Yeah.
Because once
Yeah.
once you have one consistent client, they're kind of with you forever,
Yeah.
and they will be able to bring two more clients with you. But I try to not kiss ass and not do too much. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Because as a photographer, you can kind of lean towards kissing ass, meaning like, try to give them too many edits. Let's say they're supposed to only use 1 hour, you're giving them 3 hours, and then you're stressing yourself over, but I think you just have to like know how to talk to your client. And that's something I just had to learn. Like with family, like when I turn them down, they always just feel like, I'm just too expensive. But honestly, they go on my Instagram and they'd be like, wow, this is so fire.
Yeah, you have
I
some great work, man.
yeah,
You have some great
I
work.
thank you, man. I know that when the time comes, they will have time to pay my price. You know what I'm saying? They will have the money to pay my price. They always try to lower my price because we are the same tribe, or they know me, or they feel like we speak the same language. So I should be able to accommodate them. Like I should be able to just make things lower. But people always forget we all have bills to pay.
Yeah,
We all have things to take care of. You know what I'm saying? And if you can spend 7,000 on a big ass hall, to
yeah,
have a wedding. You should be able to spend 4,000, 3,000 on a photographer. You know, I should not be the one you want to cheat. You want to lowball to 1,000.
yeah, for real. Because I've seen
I'm
some terrible wedding photos. Believe you me.
yeah, and it's just like first of all, if you do that, first of all, I did it once, but it will never be done again. No matter what happened, I'm not, it's just because at the end of the day, this thing is hard. I think people just
Yeah,
think it's a point and shoot, point and shoot. It's not what it is. It's very hard, it's very stressful, but it's like, if you make me happy, I will make you happy too. If I say 3,000 and you say, you know what, Mayo, I can only afford 3,000, 2,000, I will work with you. You know what I'm saying? We photographers always start with the biggest price when it comes to the event, but you can lower it, but you can't lower it to
yeah, you
no
can't
1,000,
lowball.
1,000, and you want me to work for 8 hours,
Nah.
moving left and right. I'm sweating, taking picture of your family, this, that for 8 hours. I can't even eat real quick, you know,
Yeah.
hours.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? This is something that I learned in my retail experience, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to
Oh, you
say
have a
this,
retail
but
experience. I'm gonna start talking to you more because I
yeah.
I need I need that. I need to
Oh,
know
I
more
got you, bro.
on the
Listen,
business
customer
side.
service. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I'm saying this on camera. If
Yeah,
there was a league for who gives the best customer service, bro,
yeah.
I'm Michael Jordan, bro. Like I don't think nobody on the face of this planet could out customer service me, man.
I like that. I like
So
that.
now
Now
I'm being for.
I have a retail mentor.
I listen. I got you, man. I got I learned a lot. So
Yeah,
one thing I learned is this. In my first red flag, I haven't started my own business yet, but when I do, this is my
yeah.
first red flag. The people that try to lowball you the lowest have the most demands. I
Yeah,
don't I don't know what it is about people when
yeah.
they not spending that money that think they can have the demands of the people that's spending that money. And so I worked at AT&T for like 6 months before I ran back to my property management job. That's
Yeah,
a story for another day.
yeah.
And it will always be people. Nah, I'm just here to get the screen the
Mhm.
screen protector on. No, mind you, they got it on warranty. So all right, cool. So you're not paying anything when you come in,
Yeah.
bro. Why you put it on that way? Turn it around this way. Why you got to do it that way? And I'm just like, for all of this, you could have just did it yourself. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're not spending no money. You didn't buy nothing off of me. You didn't even get the case off of me. So that's the
You
one
out
thing.
there
Like when
stressing
people,
me out.
yeah, you cursing me out for something for free. But that's what I learned is the people that don't
Yeah.
want to spend money
Mhm.
have the most demands.
Yeah.
So have you experienced that? Like the people.
Yes.
Okay, what was
Yes.
that
Man.
like?
When I say yes, I'm putting an exclamation. Yes, yes, yes. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, I love my African people, man, but I've never, when I deal with white people or black people, when it comes to photography, they treat me right.
Mm, mm.
They don't have too much demands. Straight to work, straight to editing, give them this stuff. Everybody goes separate ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But African people have this one thing with bargain. And I know from back home, they always do that, but it's just like, they get it to the point that, you want to know what's crazy? It got to the point that sometimes I be speaking English as soon as I meet them, just because I don't want to speak my language, because I don't want them to be like, oh,
He was
oh,
unprofessional.
you're no. It's just like, oh, you're about to, how you doing? We would like you to help us do our photos, but we are both Africans, so just
Oh
lower the
man.
price for us, uncle. Now they will not start calling you uncle, fine, bobo, fine, lower the price, and you not start looking like, no, I'm sorry, the price is 300 an hour. 300 an hour is too much. They always do that, try to bargain. And it's something to do back home, because there's not a set price back home.
So it's a cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing. So I always have that problem with them. Now I have it with family, like aunts, like I remember they called me for this job. I did it. It's supposed to be 4,000, did it for 1,005.
Oh man,
One
you
of
make me
my
want to be a
jobs.
photographer, dog. I like these numbers, man.
Yeah.
I like these
I
numbers,
did it
man.
for I did it for 1,005, and for 8 hours. I remember that day they were stressing me out. Hey, do this for me. Hey, do that. Hey, can you pass me that for the makeup artist? I'm like, but I'm doing all these things. Like, I'm just like, I know it. Like, hey, I'm gonna be walking out of the limousine. So as soon as I walk out, just make sure you take the pictures right, and make sure you take my neighbors too. I'm just like, yo, like there was just so much going on that it was driving me crazy. I was
Oh
like,
man.
man, sometimes when they say not all money is good money,
Ooh, bro.
it's the
Ooh.
truth, man.
Yeah.
Cause like honestly, like, and also that day I had to come back home, edit, do a photo book. Now with photo book, let's say they pay you 1,005. Photo book, you're probably doing the photo book for like $300. Now that
Mm.
$300 is part of the money they give you. So now
Mm.
1,001, now without gas, all that extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still kind of lowering my standards, lowering myself. And I had to tell her, like, the next time, after I got the photo book done, she was telling me like, oh my God, this photo is so good. I had to let her know like, hey, because she's an event planner. I mean, the person who gave me the job was an event planner. And I told her like, if you're going to refer me to anything 8 hours event or more, I'm not taking nothing more than 2,000, less than 2005.
Mm.
And she was like, why? I'm like, we give you food. Nigga, it's not about
You
food.
good? You good? No, you. This is a safe. You are home, brother. Say it, bro. Say it, cause I was thinking the
It's
same
not.
thing.
It's not
Say it,
about.
bro.
It's
Say it.
not
No, no,
about
no. Say what you were about to say. You could drop the N bomb, bro. You are home, brother.
this is
Say
about.
it.
This is about whole. I remember that day. I was just like, this nigga really think it's about food and taking care of me. It's not about that. It's just
Mm.
about the principle.
The
This
value.
job, you want me to, and I'm not gonna lie, I did a job for them like they paid me 4,000, because I
Mm.
because I I did it with heart. You know what I mean? I know if this was like a artist, high hand professional photographer with a company, they gain them, they wouldn't be bending. I'm out here bending down when they were coming out to the hall. I'm out here doing extra. When I tell you I did everything extra, but the thing another thing I always think about life is just that, like, when people don't repay you, God will always repay you.
I believe
You,
in that too.
but also never be that dumb to keep taking those
Yeah,
kind
never
of,
cast your pearls to the swine,
yeah,
man. That's in the Bible
keep
too.
taking that. So like anybody starting business, any business, like, you will take a hit first. You will take
Mm.
some hit. Families will make you feel like you ain't nothing. They would make you feel like, we're just gonna get it from Mayo. We're just gonna manage him. And then after they manage him, they're like, oh shit, Mayo is kind of good. Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll keep Mayo, but then
Yeah.
Mayo, like, the prices are 4,000, and y'all like, you know. But it's so sad. If I was white, y'all wouldn't bargain with
Mm. All right, time out. Okay, bro. Bro. You listen. Let's just take the prompt and throw it away, bro. We throwing it away. We throwing it away,
me.
man. Cause that's something.
Good.
That's something that I've always felt myself. So
Mhm.
before I say why I think that is,
Yeah.
why do you think when it comes to, oh man, bro,
Yeah,
I
I know.
never thought it. So when it comes to um black businesses, and then
Yes.
with you, I think it's not only black people supporting black people, but it's
Yeah.
also,
African.
Nigerians supporting
Yeah.
Nigerians.
Nigerian. Yeah.
So like, why do you think when it comes to the fact, like when it comes to, you see how they respect different races more, so it's a white person
Yep.
and they got
Yep.
that little artist hat, I don't know what that French hat is, but they see that, it's like, and they say, oh, my price is 10 grand, they like, oh my god, like, how about this, we'll throw in an
Uh-huh.
extra two, but then they see
Mhm.
Mayo and it's like 2,000, bro, man, we'll give you 750 and accept the trans pass. So why do you think that, why do you think that is?
Man, do you know sometimes I talk to my friends about this and they always try to make me they always tell me if you want to be a successful businessman, you have to be hard on people.
Mm,
You have to be a leader. You have to be
mm,
selfish. You have to be, you don't give a fuck type of thing.
yeah.
And I've always been a kind-hearted person. So, but I do notice that, even with all the movies, life history, a kind-hearted person can't really make it. Let's be honest. Yes, you
Mm.
can, but
You gotta play the
not,
game.
not that far. You got to play the game. It's just like being a politician.
Mm.
If once you become a politician, you're going to have to be doing certain things. There's certain things that are going to be required of you as a politician. You're going to have to be cruel. You know what I mean? So sometimes when I have this conversation with my friends and they tell me what I need to do, I just always be like, damn, that's crazy that this is what the word has to come to. But yeah, going to the white and black thing, it's so sad that our people, they will respect that more than they
Mm.
respect you. And you know what it is? Both of y'all can be wearing the same suit, but they just look at white as superior. They
Yeah.
look at them as like already packaged. Everything is gonna come out nice. It's gonna be all packaged well. Wow, this guy is just starting, or not even if it's just starting. Uh, Black people probably not gonna do well. This and this, and it's just so sad. You
It
know,
is.
and I kind of want to understand where they're coming from, but I also can't if me and this person same job is the same thing, photography, but you respect this person more. But sometimes I think about it, I'd be like, why is that? But honestly, I still never understand it.
Mm.
My friends always tell me like, yo, if oh, I got a great example for you. There was one day I was doing an event shoot. The lady didn't finish paying the down payment of the hall that she got for the wedding, right? We was doing the church. They called her, hey, y'all can't set up the table right now because y'all didn't finish sending the down payment. Mind you, I'm the photographer. Yeah, they haven't even paid me yet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
So now they're people calling her. She stepped out of the church with a wedding dress, and
Oh,
she like, oh, my husband will send the money right now, right now, right now. That day, I learned something new. I was like, you know what? I just have to get big because right now, no
mm.
matter as we try, bro, I don't think they will ever respect us until you get big,
Mm.
until you're that person that people talk about. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
No,
so
that's
sad.
real talk.
It's just
That's
so
real
sad.
talk.
It's sad because this lady picked up the phone mad quick. She stepped out of the church. If I was the one that was trying to talk to her during church, like, hey, don't forget about my deposit. She's gonna be like, Mayo, you know, when everything is done, I will send it tomorrow. I
Yeah.
remember that lady didn't even send me my money till like the next 5 days after I'm done with the work. But she paid right there.
Yeah, she
It
paid.
like for
Yeah.
she paid right there on the phone with her wedding dress on. That's how
Mm.
you know like this is kind of segregated. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's so sad though. It's very sad.
I have, so it's crazy because that's something that I've really been thinking about.
Yeah.
And like I said, I went to school for econ. So it's kind of like I get the consumer side,
Yeah.
but I also get the business owner side.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But my theory is, and I've also seen it, and when I combine it with being like a content creator and me stepping out in
Hmm.
real estate, I'm also combining it with, all right, I'm also somebody that owns something too. And what
Okay.
I found out is that people's respect levels is based upon the level of establishment that they perceive the other
Hmm.
person to have.
Yep.
So us as
Yep.
black folk, we know that white people own pretty much everything. But
Yep.
when but and I also think it comes to that internal conversation that we have to have within ourselves as a people is that how come when we see white, we think quality, we think
Hmm.
non-negotiable, we think respect, but then when
Yeah.
it comes to our own, but when it comes to our own, it's like, I know you say 1,000, but maybe 500. And the reason
Yeah.
why is I think it's also how we value ourselves. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
we like we would believe that a white owned business is worth 5,000,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because we think white means quality, but then we see
Yeah.
a black person with that same price point. It's like, man,
Mhm.
bruh. And
That's
it's
true.
crazy because I've seen it play out personally. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen it play out. And RIP, but there's one person that kind of helped me understand how to break the mold with that, and that was Nipsey Hussle.
Hmm.
Um, his
Yeah. I
his
love
his
this.
mixtape his mixtape Crenshaw. If
Yeah.
people don't understand, it's like, okay, yeah, you could get the free joint,
Yeah.
but if you bought the album, it was $1,000.
Yeah.
And then he had other packages where it was worth $10,000. And then
Yeah.
he broke down this story about how he said what motivated him was there's this one person, I think it was in Philly, where he was selling his cheesesteaks for $1,000 and people were, or $100. It was a crazy amount of money. And
Yeah.
most people think, man, I ain't paying no. Like me, I'm not paying more than $8 for a cheesesteak. That's
Yeah.
just me. But
Yeah.
what started to happen was, and this is why I always tell people,
Mhm.
coming from an economic standpoint,
Yeah.
he said, but what started to happen was the people that couldn't afford it were backing off, but the people that could afford it were looking at it like, let me go see what it's like. So my thing is this, bro.
Yeah.
If Oprah came from wherever she was coming from to be
Yeah.
like, let me find out what this cheesesteak's gonna do, how many average folks like Oprah, bro?
But guess what? Once Oprah comes, then everybody start running to it.
So exactly. So what I learned is this, and I think this is what is really because this was super hard for me to do. This is how come I will ask people once, hey, follow my page. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
You do, whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's hard, but I said I think once you believe in the value that your product brings, and like how you said,
Mm.
all
Mm.
money isn't good money. I think
Yeah.
once you believe in that product and you set your price point, what starts to happen is you start to section off the market. And I always tell people this: there's a reason why you don't see everybody driving a Ferrari, but Ferrari's not hurting for no money. You get what I'm saying? Ferrari's not hurting for no
Ah,
money.
say
You
that
get what
one
I'm
more
saying?
time, man. Say that
Yeah,
one
so
more
for yeah,
time.
Ferrari's not hurting for no more money because the people that can
Yeah.
afford it, all right,
They're
bro, three and a
that big
half
one.
mil. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that's what I learned, and I just think that also what will help is as a people, if we really start to value one another, and somebody
Yeah.
comes to me and says, hey, that's how come me, like if I like all my anybody whose business I support, I'm like, I don't want a discount. Oh,
Yeah.
but you my man's. I don't want a discount. I don't want, out of respect for the work that you got to put in
Yeah.
and the things that you got to do. I don't want a discount.
Yeah.
So and that's just what it is. I just think that once we really value what the other person has. Oh, my mic's fuzzy.
No, no. I, I,
Okay,
I
okay.
was raising my hand that I have something to say with that.
Yeah, no, go for it. But yeah, my moral story is if value your
Mhm.
people, and then
Yeah.
when you value your people, you will then value their product. But you go for
Yeah.
it, bro. My fault.
Yeah. I remember one time I went to Texas, right? I met this lady, and we chop it up. She's a businesswoman. She does real estate and all that, And I always try to link with people that are just business savvy, because I just got into this old business thing, and I'm trying to learn more,
Mm-hmm.
So then we kind of exchanged number. One day, I started texting her. She's texting me. We just chatting it up, and then that was when I had my accident and I was doing those paintings, right? and those digital paintings. And like, I remember one time she asked me, "Hey, can you help me do this kind of paint, like this kind of digital stuff?" I was like, "Yeah, I got you, I got you." So I did it. She was like, "How much?" So I was like, "It's $700, but I will give it to you for 350 because I fuck with you."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, you fine, you fine, you fine, you
Yeah,
fine, bro.
fuck with you. And she was like, "No, I want to pay the real price." I was like, I never heard that in my life before.
Right, right.
I'm sorry, like, I said I'm Nigerian. I just never heard that before. She talking about I want to pay the real price. I'm thinking, all right, maybe Shorty just like me. You know what I mean? So as a man, you start thinking other things like. So I'm like,
Yeah,
maybe she
yeah,
just
yeah,
like me.
yeah.
So then, I shipped it, whatever. She paid. Then the next time she was like, hey, like, because she just, it was like 2 months ago. She just had a kid, and she was like, can you help me do something nice? And I was like, I've been busy right now, but and I was like, I'll do something nice for you. She was like, okay, how much would it be? I was like 200. She was like, Mayo, this hard don't cost 200. This literally costs like 4,000, like 3,000. And I was like, I know, but like we're gonna buy my thing for 2, 3,000. She was like, Mayo, I want you to actually start taking business class serious because I really feel like you can make it in this world, but because you lowered that, because and it's so sad because like she sees what I see, but I kind of I lowball the artwork because I always feel like art is about people when you have that fame. That's when you can. That's when you can put prices on it. But we live in Philly, Camden, Jersey, whatever. You don't expect people to be buying for 4,000. You know what I mean?
You'd
But
be surprised
yeah,
though.
I'd be surprised. But then that was the
But
time
I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying.
she now told me, like, she started telling me all the stories. She was like, Maya, honestly, I really believe in you. Try to make sure, like, yes, I know you're trying to sell this for me because you know me, but don't be doing that no more. You know,
Mm.
when you start telling people this is 4,000, people be like, oh, this nigga crazy. So they be like, nah. If you say that to 10 people, there will always be one that will be like,
Mm.
if it's 4,000, I want to see what it's about. You know what I mean? And it goes back to what you just said, man. Like, if someone is selling this food and there's going to be that one rich person that's going to be like, you know what? I got the bread. I want to see what it's about. But when everybody see that rich person buy it, that's when people want to try it. And it's so sad. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, that's really the world we
But
live in.
but it is, and it's so crazy because this is part of one of the prompt. But it's like one of the things that we business people that we go through is that when it comes to pricing, lowering ourselves, feeling that we're not good enough, or our craft is not good enough, feeling like, why is this person selling more than me? Start judging yourself, you know, and just the craft in general. You just start feeling like, I'm not doing it good. It don't look good. I don't have this kind of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this look better than mine? And sometimes we just have to learn that, you know, life is just a pace. Like, it's like a
Yeah.
little circle pace, and you just have to keep going with what God has for you. If it's not for you yet, you can't have it.
Mm.
You can't have it. Like right now, where you're at, it's not going to be where you're going to be at in 2 years.
Mm.
Especially if you believe in growth.
Right.
Especially if you upgrade, you reinvest, you have a room for podcasts, you put up a sound foam where it's like, the sound can go out, sound bounces back. You do a lot of reinvesting. You will never be the same. Like, people, you will be looking at your videos now, you'll be like, man, I was
What
booty
was I
back.
thinking? Yeah, what was I thinking? But you know what's crazy though? Let's take a
Yeah,
pause really quick.
yeah.
Oh man, we're probably gonna have to have a part two to actually talk about the stuff we wrote about. But I love the direction.
Part two
Yeah,
though.
yeah, I love the direction we took this in, and I think that's what stops a lot of people from actually wanting to do stuff, because I think in the back of their mind
Yeah,
they're afraid of when they look back on when they started. It's like,
yeah,
ugh, you know what I
yeah,
mean? But like
yeah.
even now when I listen to some of my first episodes, I'm like, yeah, ill, but I look at it like, but look where I've come. And I also think that's why a lot of people are afraid of taking chances. It's
Yes,
like
yes, yes.
the mistakes you make starting, you're always gonna be making mistakes.
Of
That's
course,
just life.
of
Now
course.
some of us are able to afford bigger mistakes
Yeah,
and keep it pushing,
yes,
but some of us aren't always in those positions. But I just think that a lot of times people are afraid of, taking that step, making those mistakes, because then
yes,
that'll just have to force them to look back. But I'm like, but also it also just shows you how far you've come.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
yeah, I might got a D on that test, but all right, I got to see the next time. I got a
Yeah,
B, and eventually I got an A. You know what I mean?
yeah. Now, I think the biggest question is for every business owner to ask himself: Are you a positive person or are you a negative person?
Mm. So
You
why
know,
do you
that's
think? Why do you think that that matters? Because here's what I hear a lot. Oh, I'm not negative. I'm just a realist. You get what? So why do you think that asking yourself if you're a positive or negative person is crucial to owning a business?
so the reason why I said that is because I'm a very negative person, not towards people. I give people advice that I don't take for myself.
Same here.
So I'm not negative towards people. I'm negative towards my own soul, my own self. And I think the reason why I said that is because if you're a positive person, you might be able to figure out yourself quick, how
Mm,
to maneuver, how to undo things. But when you're a negative person, you go through stress, you go through just not sleeping, overthinking,
yeah, yeah.
agitated, aggravated, being just feeling like you want to get it that fast, but you can't, and you're looking at people that are big already. And sometimes I get clouded in myself, and I'd be like, sometimes I tell myself, I don't even know why you're looking at all these people. They spent 7 years. You just started. You in year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Why
yeah.
you
That's real talk.
why you trying to run past your race? You
mm,
know what I mean? So and the thing is like, but I'm such a negative person that I always just everything that I do sometimes I just be like, it's not that good. But I'm starting to be a positive person slowly. And it's all because of just learning the business.
mm,
You know, learning the business and then also just learning myself.
mm,
There was one time I was watching this thing about Africa. This lady, she became like one of this biggest clothing line in Nigeria, and like she didn't have no money when she started, and she was saying during her whole course of like selling clothes, she said she had to learn how to deal with herself, and I
mm.
never understood. I was like, why you have to deal with yourself? Like, what do you like? What do you need?
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you go through so much
Mm,
trying to be successful in a business. You go
mm,
through friends, family, you go through your own self doubt, you go through like religious stuff. Your spirit is not uplifted sometimes. You feel like you're not even gonna make it, but you keep pushing. So, but when you know yourself and when you know what you're trying to achieve, there will be something that's gonna keep reminding you that look at the bright side.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like for me now, I'm starting to learn that what, I know I have a negative mindset sometimes. I'm very good in my craft, but I have a negative mindset. And negative mindset kind of makes me feel like I'm not good in my craft.
Mm.
So, but now what I do is like whenever that negativity comes, I just always tell myself, you're doing better than a lot of people that started in a year. Just keep pushing. Just
Yeah.
keep going. You're doing so much better. I always tell them, and you know what's funny? Shana always tell me this, and it's so crazy because last year I didn't believe in it. She always tell me, say words of affirmation and tell yourself
Yeah.
you're good. I always be like, nigga, man, I ain't doing that
I
shit.
don't believe in all of that. I feel you, man.
Like, I'm like, she would wake up, she would be like, I would see her listening to this YouTube thing. She would be like, I am well, I am rich, I am good. I'd be like, yo, this bitch crazy.
But you know what's crazy? No, I feel you on that. But you know what's crazy though? I'm happy you said that because I'm a very negative person too. I'll admit it on the show. I'm very
Yeah,
negative. I'm very quick to go to worst case scenario,
yeah.
and I also hate when good things happen. Here's what I mean by that.
Oh, same
Yeah.
here. I
So
be
I'm glad
feeling
somebody can relate.
when
Like,
good
yo,
things.
I hate because I get so ridden with anxiety, not clinical anxiety, but just general feelings of
Yeah,
being anxious.
same here,
Like,
same here.
all right, it's sunny on this side, but then I'm like, all right, when's it gonna rain though? When's it gonna rain though? When's it gonna rain though? I'm
Oh,
like, all
same
right, there's no traffic. All right, but when's there gonna be traffic? When's there gonna be traffic? When's there gonna be traffic? You get what I'm saying? So
crazy. No,
so
no, 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 no. So off record, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna let you keep going. But off record, this is crazy that's literally how I am, and it's
yeah,
sad that sometimes I be like, yo, son,
something gotta go
sometimes
wrong.
I wake up right, and I don't have my anxiety stuff, and I just be like, when is it gonna come? I'll be driving, I'll be like, my flare up, I haven't feel my flare up yet. Why
Yeah,
not here
yeah,
yet? But our brain is so used to it that I'm calling it to come. That's
yeah,
so sad though. It's
yeah.
crazy. Continue though. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. So what was crazy is I'm so happy you said that because like I think that um a lot of times
Mhm.
we don't understand what we've conditioned our minds and bodies to get accustomed to.
Yeah.
And there's one thing I read this one book. It was by this guy, Joseph Disperenz, whatever. It was
Okay.
called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And
Yeah.
then what he talked about was a lot of the things that we've conditioned ourselves to do and to be and to
Mhm.
believe.
Yeah.
The reason why it's hard for us to change is because we're trying to fight against what we've conditioned our bodies to accept.
Yeah. Hmm.
And a lot of times that's why sometimes change is hard because
Yeah.
it's like when you start to go beyond what you've conditioned your mind and body to believe, your
Hmm.
body thinks it's under attack.
Yeah.
And then this is why one of my favorite psychological terms that I live by is cognitive dissonance. And for
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't know, cognitive dissonance is what your mind um like that feeling of discomfort when you're confronted with something that takes you out of your comfort zone, whether it's it's an opinion, a new
Yeah.
location, or whatever. The
For the truth.
cognitive dissonance, yeah. So the cognitive dissonance is pretty much your mind and your body fighting to bring your body and mind back to what it's used to.
Yeah.
So once I've understood that, it kind
Hmm.
of allowed me to start navigating like that feeling of discomfort. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And if anybody
Yeah.
listens to my podcast, the one thing I always say, what I had to confront that for is my current relationship. Like
Yeah.
I'm so used to and I'm not gonna lie, I still sometimes enjoy the little bit of toxicity that because that's what I'm used to. But then when I found somebody that's the
Yeah.
complete opposite of toxic,
I be
I'm
like, this is not real.
no, and there be some days I just be sitting in the chair like this, like, all right, yo, like we gotta argue about something. Like, I'm like, what can I start an argument about? But then that's when I have to check myself, like that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yo,
you know,
crazy girl.
that's
Like,
why change is hard. You know what I'm saying?
change is very, very hard. I be telling Sean, like, I be like, man, I can't go bid with a girl that's too chill because I would like to be honest, I would cheat a lot and I would just be on some fuck shit a lot. Because I just I
But you
I've
know
had,
you though.
yeah, I have had three girlfriends and like probably one person that I did it for a while. And I'm trying to tell you, all of them are crazy.
Mm,
So it's like me having someone that's too chill, it will mess up my mind. It will make me feel like, what are you up to? Like,
mm.
like, it would make me start questioning, like, is she too chill, or she don't like me, or she don't, she let me do whatever I want. I would start questioning. I don't go through girls' phone. I would probably start thinking, like, let me see what she up to.
Yeah.
And this whole thing is just a psychological thing. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
it's our brain, and it's just so crazy that we are the biggest judge of ourselves, you know. And if we want to make it to, we are the biggest judge of ourselves too.
Yeah.
We if we want to make it, we just have to change our mindset,
Yeah.
and that goes to everybody too, because like till now, remember when we first started the conversation, the podcast, I said I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I still want to learn from even people listening to this, you, anybody. I'm still learning. I'm still a baby in this. Like I'm still trying to like figure out like, what can I do more? What other route can I take? What can I, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I just be home and I just be out here overthinking, trying to figure out, okay, like how can I get consistent clients? How can I'm out here doing YouTube, but I'm like, you know what? It's not YouTube. I'm like, you know what? It's something that has to do with the business. I gotta figure out the business side heavy. So that's what I've been focusing on. I've been on
So
Udemy
let's take a
sometimes.
pause there. Because that's a very, 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 very great point.
Mm-hmm.
So I like how you said like a lot of times when you wondering like what do I do? You said you don't go
Yeah,
to YouTube or other sources
yeah,
of information.
yeah,
Can you please elaborate on the importance of people understanding the business side of what it is that they
yeah.
want to do? Because I know we talked about like taking it
Life.
personal when our friends
Yeah,
wouldn't do stuff, but
yeah,
like I said, it's the economic part of me where I'm like, no, there's a business reason why someone may not choose to support you. There's a business
yeah,
side why you might not be getting the clients that you want and things like that. So can like and I know honestly we're in this whole manifest
uh-huh.
era right now, but I still
Yeah.
think that you can manifest all you want, but if you don't know the business,
You
you
can't.
still
You're not going.
lost. Right.
Yeah,
So like what is the importance of understanding the business side of the things that you do?
yeah. So the business side, the first thing that people gotta understand is that it's not, even when you know it and when you understand it, it's not gonna happen in one setting. It's not just gonna,
Mm,
like, it's not gonna be a miracle. You know what I mean? And I
mm-hmm.
think that's what made people be like, oh, you know what? It's not a business. Let me go
Right.
focus. Let me focus more on creating more.
Mm,
Creating better craft. I'm trying to be like one of those photographers where I would do like more naked shoots. Get more attention. But you're getting the attention. People are still not booking you left and right.
mm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you can have all this Instagram followers, but you're not getting bookings though. Because I mean, the end goal is to always get bookings. You know what I mean? So now, when I finally realized that it was the business like mindset, it was more like there was a time where I was watching YouTube, I was on Facebook questions and answers, I was on Reddit, I was on everything, and my business wasn't still booming. And
Mm.
I kept thinking, like, yo, what the, like, what's going on? So then I started listening to podcasts. It's funny. I started listening to a lot of business podcasts. I
Yeah.
started listening to, I started doing like some this quiz on Udemy. It's like a photography business, and then I would score very low on it. That's when I
Mm,
knew it was business, because I was
mm.
scoring very low. And like when I started scoring higher, I started noticing my business started to boom a little bit. Now the thing with that is that people think craft, knowing how to do, like, you're very good with customer service, right? But if you don't understand the buildings of, let's say, presidentials, if you don't understand the building, like you don't understand, like, wherever you work at, you don't know what kind of tile it is. You don't
Mm.
know what kind of ceiling they have. You don't know the fan name. Because guess what? If some rich person come there and you can say, "Oh, this fan was made in Italy in 1908," that will be fascinated by them. right?
Mm.
That can be the reason why they're gonna get that crib, right? But if you don't know that, how is that gonna be able to sell just because you think you're good with customer service? But when you know
Mm.
certain things like, oh, the wall is made out of this, the wall, the this, that's the business side of it. So yes,
Mm.
I can shoot all I want, but if I don't know how to talk to clients, if I don't know how to advertise, if I don't know that, all right, December is coming up, that's when people are graduating. Now it's time to go to Rutgers and Camden. It's time to go to Temple University. It's time to go to Rowan. It's time to like go there, hand out my flyer. It's time to go there, tell people over there, follow the class of 2022, post your stuff over there. Be like, hey, if anybody need a photographer, I'm available.
Mm.
Like there's so much in the business side that people don't know. Even right now, I'm still learning, but I'm so thankful that I didn't feel like I don't need to know that, because some people they always feel like, oh, I'm such a great photographer, my client gonna come. Well, people don't know that. And right now, you know what's crazy? The clients are coming slowly, but I know this is something that's helping me in the long term.
Mm.
It's just like eating veggies right now, eating good. You're not gonna see the changes right now, but it's for your long term. You're not gonna die
Mm.
early. You know what I mean? If God didn't take you, you're not gonna die early. So that's the same thing with the business. It's like you're kind of preparing yourself for like when you get there, you
Mm.
know, how to
Wow,
handle
that's
certain
deep.
things,
That's
you
deep.
know. So it's just like I listen to podcasts so much. Sometimes when I'm driving, every time I'm driving, I don't even play music anymore. I just click some kind of podcast that has to do with like even just any business. The cleaning business, I was listening to how to get government funding, you know. But you know, you have to be 3 years in the game, you have to do this, you have to do that. But guess what? I wouldn't know none of that if I wasn't listening to podcasts, if I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
searching, you know, because YouTube can only tell you so much. But when you do podcasts
Yeah.
and reading, it tells you everything, you know. So for me, I just think like this is the part one of this podcast, but probably later on we will go into like more in detail.
Oh, we have to, man. We have
As of right
to.
now, like you know, if you want to get better in anything you do, you have to go on, you have to understand the business side of it. Every successful business owner, they they became someone who became a reader. They started learning how to. Do you really think this guy loved cars like that? You know, what's
Mm.
his name? The Tesla guy,
Oh,
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
It's not like he, you know, but he went to learn how he didn't, you know, he probably don't even know nothing that he's doing. But guess what? He's probably a business. He
Mm.
probably has the biggest business mindset. You know what I'm saying? And yes, there's luck, and yes, there's God. You know, I'm a Christian person, but I still feel
Yeah.
like no matter how much you believe in God, bro, if you don't know certain things, you're just not gonna make it.
Mm.
You can't cater to everybody in this life. Just
Mm.
with my business, I can't cater to everybody because guess what? My price is going to keep increasing every year, and not everybody's going to be able to pay it. But when people pay, money comes in heavy.
Yeah.
That's the key. Just like the guy who was selling the cheesesteak, not everybody got to pay. But when that one person pay, can feed my whole 4 or 5 months of living.
Mm.
And that's what we are trying to achieve. You know what I mean? Like you might start real estate, you might start slow, you might start at the regular place, but you know, like you're probably trying to go higher. But guess what? Like just you going in that slow pace, and you know that when you understand the business part, you there's no way. I feel like there's no way, man. You will always achieve something greater when you understand the business part. And even with me right now, that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to
Mm.
understand more because for my first year of doing photography, I was kind of like more into like, oh, I'm a good photographer. I was arrogant,
Mm.
you know, and you can't be arrogant in business. You
Mm. Wow, say that
can't.
again, bro. That's a bar, man.
Yeah, you can't be arrogant in business because it's like you will never get nowhere. Yeah, the you know, your pictures will come out good, But imagine I'm always out here like, oh, I'm always out here like just arrogant to my customers or to my clients, you know, and just not always showing love to them, you know. Out of all the 90% of clients that I have, at least 20 to 30% of them, I make sure I treat them too nice to the point that it brings more clients.
Mm.
I'm not kissing their ass, but I just
It's
give them
quality service. Yeah.
something to hold on to make them really like, just I remember one time I did a shoot with this little kid. She had pre-diabetes. She's pre-diabetic. And like, I give the mom 6 free editing. I was
Wow.
like, this is a gift for her birthday.
Mm.
And she was like, oh my God, you're so kind. I'm like, no, it's just, my mom is a nurse and my parents are like all into medicine. And I just hear a lot of stories, kids dying, blah, blah, blah. And that's just me just showing my love that I understand, you know.
Yeah.
And then she just shed a tear. She was just like, you know, and that's just part of the packaging that you have to
Yeah.
do as a businessman. You have to do certain things like that. And sometimes there's times to be cruel too. There's times to be like, this is the price. If you don't want to pay it, it's fine. I'm good with staying broke.
Mm.
Pay it, it's fine. But in the long run, things will work out because when you start having those customers that believe in you, it will work out. But it's not easy. All
Yeah.
these things are not easy, man. Even when you go deep into real estate, I have like 2, 3 friends that I know that are doing this, and like, it's not easy. But I remember when they first started. Now they're starting to get their balance, and I'm talking about after 5 years. You
Mm.
know, they're starting to just get their balance now. Things are starting to work out now. And I'm just like, you know what? Everything is just time.
Yeah.
Everything is time. And that's one thing I want to talk about in the next episode because I think implementing time and business together will be a great thing because time heals. Like time is what makes
Mm.
things happen. You know what I mean?
Man, listen, we might have to save part two for your podcast, man. So I'm gonna say this, man. We could talk all night, bro. And I really, really do appreciate this conversation. So
uh,
before we wrap it up, man, what's
yeah.
one nugget of knowledge that you'd like to drop to the audience to help inspire them to go out there and get
Yeah.
what they feel is for them?
If you fear, just do it.
Mm.
If it's that much of like a fear, that means you're gonna make it.
Wow.
Because I feel like the biggest fear, you will always achieve it.
Mm.
The devil just don't want you to get it. That's why it put that fear in you. I feel like every fear,
Pastor Penny, man.
and it's crazy because I'm not even trying to be a pastor or anything. It's just that like even right now, I want to tell you, I'm not even like, as I said in the beginning, I could be making good money right now. I don't have to be doing this.
Mm.
I could be doing IT, be doing consulting. I know how to do everything. I'm good at a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I chose this and I'm still not making 6 figures yet.
Mm.
I'm sure my brother here making 6 figures. He's doing good, but I'm
No,
still
no,
not
no, no, no. No, 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 no.
I'm,
I
I'm
can't
still
have the alphabet boys thinking I'm making 6 figures when I'm not, man.
I'm still not making 6 figures yet. But the key is I know it's something that I fear to live to take a risk because I've always been structured.
Yeah.
I just want to do school and have money. But if you fear it enough, I feel like you will make it
No,
if
that's
you go
dope,
for it.
man.
Something that you fear, you will. If you go for it, you will make it. You will make it because there's a reason why you fear it in the first place.
Mm.
So it's like it's a thing. It's a psychological thing. And of course that's the science part, but it's a devil thing that's just planted in you that just don't want you to go in it because that might be your destiny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know.
So that's definitely deep, man. So
Yeah.
I definitely appreciate you for your time, man. This was
Ah,
definitely I learned so much. I gained so much, man, and I'm pretty sure my listeners have as well.
Yeah,
So for the last time before we close out,
yeah,
where can people go to support what it is that you got going on?
man. I'm not gonna lie, man. If anybody just need a photographer, artist, you have a even if you have like a little TV show or TV play, I'm an actor too. I do into RT world. If you want me to paint for you, anything, but all my business just goes back to penny visuals,
Okay, I'm gonna
and
plug that into the description of the show too.
everything just goes back to penny visuals, and I'm definitely creating a brand soon, but right now I'm just taking it slowly. I'm letting God just direct my way.
Yeah,
It's something that I'm just taking slowly, but I do have. I've always say one thing to people though, like it's like if you ever get to have a conversation with me while we're drunk, you would kind of want to be my agent because I'm very
uh-huh.
talented. I'm very
I know you
talented.
are, man. That's why I was thinking throughout the show, man. I'm definitely gonna be hitting you up for a shoot too, man.
Yeah,
I got a lot of fall looks. I'm about
yeah.
to, you know what I'm saying, about to
And
bless the
like,
people with.
even just anything, just you wanna some arts like I do it all. Not jack of all trades, but I do it in that arty world.
No, I believe
And
it.
and I just want my biggest thing is not even I don't care if people support me or not, but I just want, especially our people, I just want them to do what makes them happy.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. That's
what
one of the
makes
reasons why I created the
them
show, man.
happy, and then don't let, because it is what it is. Like, don't let anybody feel like they can make you stop. Because right now, a lot of my friends don't support what I do, but
Mm,
I'm still making money, and God is still blessing me. You know,
can't argue with that,
I
man.
can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that.
And when you just know yourself, as we were saying, because we too are like negative person, not like we're negative towards others, but when you know yourself, I feel like that's the first thing that God want us to do. Like when you know
Yeah,
yourself, you know that you can achieve it.
yeah,
It's gonna take time, of course,
yeah,
but and I'm blessed to have a beautiful woman that can understand that part.
yeah.
Because not everybody can deal with that.
No, that's true, man. But
So
listen, man,
yeah,
we're gonna have to connect again, bro. We're gonna get that part two
definitely. I
squared
can't.
away relatively soon. Me either, man. And like I said, I definitely gonna reach out to you to connect for a shoot, man.
Definitely.
So thank you so much for stopping by the show, man.
No problem.
I always like to extend all my guests, man. Listen, if there's anything I can do to help support, push, plug, whatever it is, I'm gonna
Yeah,
do that for you because you gave me 2 hours of your time. And that's the least I could do. So thank you
yeah,
so much
no
for
problem.
stopping by, man.
No problem. And we have more. We have more in store.
We got more in store, man. We definitely, because I remember one time I had a 3 hour episode and one of my mans was like, "Yo, bro, congrats on the podcast," but he's like, "I ain't listening to no 3 hour episode." So yeah, so I try to be cognizant of the time. But listen, man,
Yeah,
thank you so much for stopping by.
no problem.
Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Please feel free to support my man's the description to support any and all of his businesses and ventures is gonna be on the description of this episode. So until next time, and bro, best of luck to you, man. And I'll be reaching out, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. All
I
right.
appreciate you, man.
All right.
Seriously. All right, man. You have a good night, bro.
You too. You
All
too,
right,
brother.
thank you. All right.